Rick Grant. I'm sitting today with Mike Darne. He's the Vice President of Marketing for CreditXpert. Mike, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Rick.
So 2023 has been rough for mortgage lending, with mortgage applications down around 60%. But you guys are tracking all of this data as a data science company. So what is CreditXpert seeing from a demand side when it comes to credit inquiries?
No. So very clear, the industry is seeing that drop. And we're also seeing that, right? We're seeing a major dip in mortgage inquiries, but it's less pronounced than what the industry is seeing in terms of applications. So as we've recently reported in our most recent mortgage credit potential index, year over year, we're seeing about a 27% drop in inquiries overall. And to me, this means that there is still demand out there. People are testing the market to see what they can afford. That said, that lack of inventory and these stubbornly high interest rates are keeping people on the sidelines, for now. While the bottom end of the spectrum, really represents a relatively small portion of the overall market, we've seen some significant year-over-year increases, believe it or not, nearly 40%. In that 480 to 560 band, right? And what this tells me is that there's strong demand out there for first-time home buyers. And what this does is it represents an opportunity for lenders to work closely with those prospective home buyers to get them to a place where they can make a successful application when the time's right.
Very interesting, Mike. Now, the things that you mentioned aren't the only complications in the market today. Right now, we're also seeing FHFA making a number of proposals, including changing the LLPA tables, moving from a tri-merge to a bi-merge. What's your take on all of these changes?
Yeah, the way we look at it here is that when you really thread the needle on these significant changes, what I'm seeing is that the industry really truly understands the importance of credit in the mortgage lending decision-making process. And for me, the good news here is that when it comes down to credit, it's one of the only decisioning variables that can be impacted in the short run. Things like collateral and capacity, they're largely static, right? Credit, however, is something that can be impacted in the short run, right? In fact, our recent mortgage credit potential index, same one I referenced before, shows that 77% of inquiries below 760 could be improved by at least 20 points within 30 days.
Well, that's exciting, Mike. And I love what you said about there still being demand out there. Given that, what can lenders do now to make the second half better than the first?
Yeah, no, I think, it clearly it's a challenging market, right? So, one thing that I would recommend is that you focus on what you can control, right? So there are many macroeconomic forces that are outside of what a lender can control, interest rates, housing inventory, et cetera. But one thing that they can control in the short run is credit, right? So you can be using credit to help borrowers that may not currently qualify for a mortgage to get to a place where they can qualify. You can help people get into better loan programs. And we're also seeing opportunities to lower interest rates pretty significantly just by working on credit. And so take that, ability to control some aspect of this and use that to differentiate yourself, right? So you have an opportunity to show your borrowers that you're working for them. You can help them get a better credit score, which will likely turn into a lower interest rate, lower monthly payments, lower PMI even, as people are struggling to perhaps have enough to put down on a down payment that will allow them to avoid that. And then ultimately lower that cost of home ownership. And then something to think about that as we've been talking to lenders that isn't always a go-to is there's an opportunity to impact LLPA premiums as you improve credit scores. So what that gets you is it gives you an opportunity to have more margin to work with as you're competing out in the marketplace. And then the last thing is, using tools like CreditXpert, which allow you to go in, analyze a person's credit score very quickly, very easily, understand where that score could get to, and then generate a plan that helps you get to that target score. What that does is it helps you keep your borrowers in that funnel. You're not guessing around it, and you can hopefully close more loans, and win over those that are shopping around with other competitors. So, summary, focus on what you can control, look for ways to differentiate yourself, and then also find ways to keep those borrowers in your funnel while you're working on them to improve their credit.
Great advice. Mike Darne is Vice President of Sales for CreditXpert. Mike, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, Rick.